In 2016, JD Vance was a vocal critic of Donald Trump. He openly questioned Trump's character and fitness for office. Vance's criticisms were sharp and frequent. He called Trump reprehensible and an idiot. Vance even compared Trump to Adolf Hitler. This was a time when many Republicans were hesitant to support Trump. Vance's words resonated with those who saw Trump as a threat to American democracy. Vance's criticism of Trump was rooted in his personal experiences. He grew up in a working-class family in Ohio. Vance saw firsthand the struggles of the people Trump claimed to represent. He believed that Trump's policies would only hurt the working class. Vance's book, Hillbilly Elegy, became a bestseller. It gave a voice to the forgotten Americans in the Rust Belt. His sharp intellect and willingness to challenge the status quo made him a rising star. Many saw Vance as a potential leader for a different kind of Republican Party, one that was more inclusive and compassionate. His criticism of Trump seemed to solidify his place in this new guard. Few could have predicted the political journey Vance was about to take. His transformation from Trump critic to Trump loyalist is a story of ambition, calculation, and the ever-shifting sands of American politics. Fast forward to 2024, the political landscape has shifted dramatically. Donald Trump, despite losing the 2020 election, still holds a tight grip on the Republican Party. His brand of populism and grievance politics continues to resonate with a large portion of the electorate. In this new reality, JD Vance has undergone a complete political metamorphosis. He has gone from being one of Trump's harshest critics to becoming his running mate. The transformation has been both stunning and perplexing to many. How could the same man who once compared Trump to Hitler now stand beside him as his chosen successor? The answer, it seems, lies in a complex interplay of factors. Vance's ambition to climb the political ladder undoubtedly played a role. Recognizing the power Trump holds within the Republican Party, aligning himself with the former president became a calculated move to advance his own career. However, the shift also reflects a broader trend within the Republican Party. The party of Lincoln has become increasingly beholden to Trump and his MAGA base. Moderate voices have been silenced or pushed out. Those who aspire to hold positions of power within the party have learned that loyalty to Trump is paramount. Vance's journey from critic to loyalist is a stark reminder of the changing face of American politics. It is a story about the allure of power, the compromises people make in pursuit of it, and the deep divisions that continue to plague our nation. JD Vance's story begins in Middletown, Ohio, a town that had fallen victim to the decline of American manufacturing. Once a bustling hub of industry, Middletown had become a symbol of economic anxieties. The factories that once provided stable jobs had shuttered their doors, leaving behind a community struggling to adapt. It was in this environment that Vance's early years unfolded. Born in 1984, Vance's childhood was far from idyllic. His family history was marked by poverty and addiction. His mother battled addiction, creating instability. Despite hardships, Vance found stability with his grandparents. His mama instilled values of hard work and resilience. Growing up, Vance witnessed the struggles of the white working class. These experiences formed the heart of his memoir, Hillbilly Elegy. Vance's mother's struggle with addiction was a constant presence throughout his childhood. He witnessed the devastating effects of substance abuse on both a personal and familial level. He learned to navigate the complexities of a broken home. The absence of his biological father left a void in Vance's life. Despite the turmoil at home, Vance excelled academically. He became determined to break free from the cycle of poverty and addiction. His mama, with her belief in hard work, became a guiding force in his life. Hillbilly Elegy, a voice from the Rust Belt. In 2016, Vance's memoir catapulted him into the national spotlight. The book offered a raw look at the struggles of the white working class in Appalachia and the Rust Belt. Hillbilly Elegy became an instant bestseller. Its release coincided with the rise of Donald Trump. The book sparked a national conversation about class, identity, and the American dream. The success of Hillbilly Elegy transformed Vance's life. Service and education. JD Vance's childhood in Middletown was challenging, but he had a drive that set him apart. After high school, he enlisted in the Marine Corps, seeking a path beyond his hometown. This decision reflected his patriotism and desire to serve. The Marines instilled in him discipline and hard work. He served in Iraq as a press liaison officer. This experience exposed him to a world far from Middletown. He witnessed the realities of war and sacrifices made. His time in the Marines instilled duty, leadership, and teamwork. These qualities were invaluable for his future. After his service, he returned home with purpose. He excelled at Ohio State, graduating with honors. Driven by a desire for law and public service, he aimed for Yale Law School. His acceptance to Yale was a significant milestone. Venture capital and social commentary. Graduating from Yale Law School in 2013, JD Vance had a prestigious law degree and military experience in Iraq. These qualities attracted Peter Thiel, a prominent venture capitalist. Vance joined Mithril Capital Management in San Francisco. He immersed himself in tech startups and Silicon Valley innovation. The contrast between Silicon Valley's affluence and his hometown struggles weighed on him. Vance's experiences fueled a desire to bridge this divide. He began writing and speaking about working-class challenges. As JD Vance's writing gained a wider audience, he attracted the attention of literary agents and publishers. In 2016, Vance published his memoir, Hillbilly Elegy. The book became an instant sensation, capturing the zeitgeist of a nation grappling with economic anxiety and political polarization. Hillbilly Elegy offered a raw look at the struggles of the white working class in Appalachia and the Rust Belt. Vance wrote with vulnerability and sharp social commentary, delving into poverty, addiction, and family dysfunction. The book resonated with readers across the political spectrum, becoming a New York Times bestseller. Its release coincided with the rise of Donald Trump, who tapped into the anxieties of working-class white voters. It propelled him onto the national stage, transforming him into a sought-after commentator and speaker. JD Vance's foray into politics was not entirely unexpected. His memoir, Hillbilly Elegy, had established him as a keen observer of working-class America. Vance's initial foray into the political arena was marked by ambiguity. He had been critical of Donald Trump during the 2016 presidential campaign. Vance's criticisms raised questions about his political leanings. In the years following Hillbilly Elegy, Vance's political views shifted. He became more vocal in his support for conservative policies. Vance's alignment with Trump's brand of conservatism grew. He recognized that Trump's message resonated with working-class voters. This set the stage for Vance's entry into the political arena. In 2022, JD Vance announced his candidacy for the United States Senate. The race was highly competitive, with control of the Senate at stake. Vance's entry was met with excitement and skepticism. Supporters highlighted his intellect and personal story. Critics questioned his conservative credentials. Vance sought Donald Trump's endorsement to solidify his support. Trump's endorsement was a game-changer in Republican primaries. Trump praised Vance as a true warrior for Ohio. The endorsement boosted Vance's standing among the party's base. It demonstrated Trump's influence within the Republican Party. With Trump's endorsement, JD Vance's campaign gained momentum. Vance leaned heavily into Trump's support. He embraced Trump's populist message and rhetoric. Vance's transformation from critic to acolyte was complete. He tapped into the anger and resentment of the Republican electorate. Vance's embrace of Trumpism proved successful in the primary. He secured the Republican nomination for the Senate. Vance's victory solidified his status in the MAGA movement. It highlighted the shifting dynamics of American politics. Vance's journey set the stage for a closely watched general election. JD Vance's transformation was evident in his policy positions. He embraced Trump's America First agenda. Vance argued against free trade agreements. He adopted a hardline stance on immigration. Vance supported stricter border security measures. His views on foreign policy aligned with Trump's approach. Vance called for a more restrained foreign policy. He embraced economic populism, advocating for American industry. Vance supported increased government spending on infrastructure. This marked a departure from traditional Republican values. JD Vance recognized the need to align with the Republican base. The party's base was animated by issues like immigration and trade. Vance's embrace of Trump's agenda was strategic. He adopted a combative style of politics. Vance attacked opponents with personal insults and inflammatory rhetoric. He used social media to communicate directly with supporters. This approach mobilized his base and generated media attention. Vance's transformation highlighted Trump's reshaping of the party. Loyalty to Trump became a litmus test for Republican voters. Vance's alignment with the base was a calculated move. JD Vance leaned into the culture wars defining American politics. He embraced a socially conservative agenda. Vance opposed abortion rights, same-sex marriage, and transgender rights. He argued these issues threatened traditional American values. Vance's views reflected his conservative upbringing. He spoke about the importance of faith, family, and tradition. Vance's stance made him a hero to some and a villain to others. His supporters praised his courage in standing up for traditional values. Critics accused him of bigotry and divisive rhetoric. Vance's embrace of the culture wars highlighted political polarization. With his embrace of Trumpism, JD Vance cemented his place in the Republican Party. Vance demonstrated loyalty to Trump and the party's populist agenda. His rise to prominence showcased his political skills and ambition. Critics questioned his authenticity and commitment to principles. Some accused him of being an opportunist. Despite criticisms, Vance's influence grew within the party. He became a sought-after surrogate for Trump and other candidates. Vance's rise reflected broader trends in American politics. The Republican Party became increasingly dominated by Trump. Vance's journey was a story of ambition and political expediency. The announcement of JD Vance as Trump's running mate in 2024 shocked many. Vance and Trump seemed like an unlikely pairing, yet their alliance was a convergence of ambition and opportunity. For Trump, Vance's background lent strategic cunning to the campaign. Vance's understanding of the working class was crucial to Trump's base. Vance saw the vice presidency as a career advancement opportunity. The alliance provided Vance access to Trump's network. It was a strategic partnership born out of political expediency. The alliance reflected a shared belief in nationalist rhetoric. It mobilized voters who felt alienated from the political establishment. On the campaign trail, JD Vance embraced his role as the voice of the disaffected. His speeches mixed economic populism, cultural conservatism, and nationalism. Vance railed against outsourcing, decline of manufacturing, and corporate greed. His message resonated with voters affected by factory closures and opioid addiction. Vance tapped into cultural anxiety and resentment. He warned of the erosion of traditional values and the rise of a liberal elite. Vance's message found a receptive audience among alienated voters. His speeches were heavy on emotional appeal. Vance offered a vision of America restored to its former greatness. His message resonated with voters yearning for a simpler time. Section 3. Vance's future. A Trumpian heir? The 2024 presidential election ended in defeat for the Trump-Vance ticket. The factors contributing to their loss were complex and multifaceted, ranging from Trump's polarizing personality to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Despite the loss, JD Vance emerged from the campaign as a significant figure in American politics, a potential heir to Trump's populist mantle. Vance's future within the Republican Party remains uncertain. Some within the party view him as a potential standard-bearer, a charismatic leader who can bridge the gap between the Trump base and more traditional conservatives. Others, however, remain wary of Vance's close association with Trump and his embrace of populist rhetoric. They worry that his brand of politics is too divisive and will ultimately alienate moderate voters. Much will depend on the direction the Republican Party takes in the post-Trump era. If the party continues to embrace Trump's brand of populism and nationalism, Vance will be well positioned to play a leading role. However, if the party chooses to moderate its tone and move away from Trump's divisive rhetoric, Vance may find himself increasingly marginalized. Regardless of his future political prospects, JD Vance's journey from Trump critic to Trump loyalist is a testament to the shifting sands of American politics. His story highlights the enduring power of populism, the allure of ambition, and the challenges of navigating a political landscape increasingly defined by division, grievance, and a yearning for a return to a bygone era. Only time will tell what role JD Vance will ultimately play in shaping the future of American politics, but his voice, once a lone dissent, is now a chorus for a generation. JD Vance's journey from Trump critic to vice presidential pick highlights the convoluted path of ambition in American politics. His story reveals the delicate dance between personal conviction and political expediency. Vance's transformation begs the question, what compromises are made in the pursuit of power? His political trajectory reflects a broader trend within the Republican Party, grappling with its identity post-Trump. The embrace of populist rhetoric and shift from traditional values mark a party in flux. Vance's journey is a microcosm of this larger struggle within the GOP. The price of Vance's political ascent has been debated. Critics argue he abandoned principles for political expediency. Supporters see his evolution as pragmatic, working within the system to achieve goals. Vance's journey reminds us of the compromises often demanded by the pursuit of power. Section 2, A Shifting Landscape. JD Vance's story reflects a larger transformation in American politics. The rise of populism, fueled by economic anxieties and cultural grievances, has upended traditional alignments and created new alliances. Vance's journey mirrors many politicians grappling with changing dynamics. It speaks to a broader sense of uncertainty and flux. The political playbook is being rewritten in real time. Vance's story is a potent reminder of the evolving nature of American democracy. It is a story about ambition, compromise, and the search for power.